Ray Bradstone?
Yeah.
Come on in, brother. My friend LaRue says you're a bad man, not to underestimate you.
Listen, guys. I just want to give you back your money. Looks like it's just me and you. What are you doing here?
I think you broke my nose.
You fed us to the dogs, right?
Yeah?
I tell you to get up?
We'll find you, Ray. You can run, but you can't hide.
I changed my mind. End of story. I'm gonna make things right with my kid, and you're not gonna screw it up. I owe you nothing.
That's a nice touch using the kid as a cover, but I don't buy it, huh?
I walked away to save my family. I see either one of you near my daughter, I'm gonna finish this.
The film opens with the introduction of a character named Raymond Bradstone, who is depicted in a prison environment engaged in a phone conversation with a woman. Their discussion is abruptly interrupted by a fellow inmate who rudely interjects with insults directed at Ray. Given Ray's impressive physical strength, he has the capability to easily subdue the disruptive inmate with a single strike. A few days later, Ray completes his lengthy sentence and is released from prison. Before leaving, he donates several books that he had been reading to the head officer of the facility. Once outside the prison gates, Ray inquires with the warden about the typical behavior of individuals recently released from incarceration. The warden responds that most tend to engage in reckless and impulsive actions after their release. Shortly thereafter, Ray is approached by LaRue, a former accomplice from a bank robbery. LaRue invites Ray to participate in another heist and aggressively insists that he get into a waiting vehicle. Despite initially dismissing LaRue, Ray unexpectedly stops and enters the car, though he does not follow through with LaRue's plan. Instead, he takes control of the vehicle and leaves LaRue behind. As night falls, Ray reflects on a photograph of his wife and daughter, expressing a deep desire to reunite with them. His goal is to shed his past, embrace positive change, and fulfill his responsibilities as a devoted husband and father. The following day, Ray visits his wife Lynn and their daughter Sally, but Lynn is resistant to his return, viewing him as an unreliable figure who has failed in his familial duties. Just then, Sally arrives home from school and is visibly displeased to see Ray at their doorstep. She rejects the stuffed bear he offers as a gift and quickly retreats into the house. The next day, Ray goes to Sally's school to apologize and attempt to repair their strained relationship. However, Sally remains hurt by his previous actions and struggles to forgive him. Despite his reassurances of reform and his commitment to being present in her life, she finds it difficult to believe him and walks away, leaving him alone. Moments later, the sound of firecrackers is heard from a distance, revealing that a scuffle has erupted among several students in the school corridor. Ray promptly intervenes, separating the fighting boys and handing them over to the school authority. Shortly after this incident, Sally's teacher, Miss Miller, approaches him. Upon introducing himself as Sally's father, Miss Miller invites Ray to serve as a chaperone and security guard for an upcoming museum tour scheduled for the following week. Given his current lack of commitments, Ray seizes this opportunity to reconnect with his estranged daughter and readily accepts the offer. However, Sally appears displeased by this development and quickly distances herself from him. Later that evening, LaRue unexpectedly arrives at Ray's apartment, proposing a deal. He will refrain from reporting Ray's auto theft if Ray agrees to participate in a planned bank heist in the coming days. This proposition infuriates Ray, who firmly rejects LaRue's request, primarily due to LaRue's previous betrayal that led to Ray's lengthy imprisonment. The following day, Ray attempts once more to reconnect with his family by visiting their home. Unfortunately, he is met with the same cold reception and is turned away once again. To make matters worse, he witnesses Lynn in an intimate moment with another man, indicating that she has moved on and is now in a new relationship. Lynn asks Ray to leave, stating that neither she nor their daughter wishes to reconcile with him. Undeterred, Ray tries to reassure Lynn of his intentions to improve their family's situation. In response, Lynn points out Ray's current predicament, jobless and without financial means, casting doubt on his ability to effect positive change. Recognizing the urgent need to secure financial stability for his family, Ray embarks on a job search. However, his criminal history hinders his efforts, as numerous companies reject his applications upon discovering his past. After spending an entire day seeking employment without success, he returns home only to find his apartment engulfed in flames. In light of his dire circumstances, Ray ultimately decides to join LaRue's criminal crew for the bank robbery. The next day, LaRue initiates the heist with Ray and 2 additional accomplices. Ray is instructed to remain in the getaway vehicle while the others carry out the robbery. While waiting, he unexpectedly spots Sally and her classmates at the museum for their educational tour. This sight triggers a wave of memories from happier times when he and Sally shared a close bond, making Ray acutely aware of the gravity of his current actions. He realizes that if apprehended, he would face a lengthy sentence, depriving him of precious time with Sally. As a result, Ray decides to withdraw from the heist, discards the car keys in a nearby shrub, and boards the bus transporting Sally and her classmates to the Dinosaur Museum. Upon seeing Ray boarding the bus, Sally tries to persuade him to leave, but he ignores her concerns and insists on staying. Meanwhile, LaRue and his crew successfully obtain the money and quickly return to their vehicle, only to find Ray missing along with the car keys. This forces them to make a hasty escape on foot, clutching the stolen cash, in order to avoid attracting police attention. Unfortunately, during their frantic getaway, LaRue's associate Domo becomes separated from the group and accidentally drops the money bag among a collection of students' luggage. In his panic, Domo flees, leaving the money bag behind. LaRue and his accomplices express their disappointment and frustration towards Domo but have no choice but to continue their escape from the approaching police. As Domo continues to flee, he becomes involved in a car accident that renders him unconscious. Meanwhile, LaRue and the remaining members of his gang manage to steal a car in order to pursue the school bus, unaware that it contains their misplaced loot. Their pursuit is abruptly halted when they collide with a truck ahead of them. When Domo regains consciousness in the hospital, he is promptly interrogated by the police, who seek information regarding the bank robbery and the location of the stolen money, believed to be on a school bus parked near the bank. After several hours of travel, Ray and the students finally arrive at their destination, the Dinosaur Museum. Upon learning that the scheduled tour guide is unavailable due to illness, Ray volunteers to lead the group, drawing on his extensive knowledge of dinosaurs acquired from numerous books he read during his incarceration. Shortly thereafter, Ray notices LaRue and his associates arriving at the museum. He quickly instructs the students to return to the school bus while he plans to confront LaRue and his crew in the restroom. He aims to clarify his intention to sever all ties with their criminal activities. However, LaRue's group informs him that the stolen money is currently aboard the school bus and requests that he retrieve it. Following this revelation, Ray promptly boarded the school bus and transported the students to their next educational destination. Upon arrival, he examined the contents of the bus trunk and discovered a bag containing stolen money. Ray intended to return the money to LaRue to ensure his daughter's safety. However, their planned exchange was interrupted by the unexpected arrival of the police, prompting LaRue and his associates to make a hasty exit. After evading law enforcement, they encountered 3 members of a Mexican gang and sought their assistance in locating Ray. Later that evening, Ray and the students arrived at a hotel for a temporary stay. He retrieved the bag of stolen money and took it to his room, where he contacted LaRue to propose leaving the money outside the hotel for collection. LaRue declined this plan due to the crowded environment and potential risks, suggesting instead that the money be delivered to a more secluded and secure location. Seizing the opportunity before meeting LaRue, Ray chose to spend quality time with his daughter, Sally. He took her to a record store to purchase a cassette of her favorite music and treated her to dinner at a restaurant. Meanwhile, detectives arrived at the hotel where the students were staying and questioned Miss Miller about Ray's whereabouts. A few hours later, as Ray prepared to return to the hotel, he noticed several police officers patrolling the area. Realizing he was now a person of interest, he informed Sally of the situation and instructed her to retrieve the bag from his room. After securing the bag, Ray advised Sally to return to the hotel and rejoin the other students, as he was concerned for her safety given that LaRue and his men were still at large. Unfortunately, just as Sally was about to enter the hotel, she was intercepted and abducted by LaRue and his accomplices. Meanwhile, upon arriving at the location specified by LaRue, where a serious confrontation ensues.
You Ray Bradstone?
Yeah?
Come on in, brother. My friend LaRue says you're a bad man, not to underestimate you.
Listen, guys. I just want to give you back your money. like it's just me and you.
Subsequently, Ray received a call from LaRue, who revealed that he had kidnapped Sally. Infuriated by this news, Ray vehemently warned LaRue against harming her. LaRue then instructed him to bring the stolen money to a discreet location for an exchange. Ray quickly hailed a taxi to head to the designated location and requested that the driver speed away as soon as Sally entered the vehicle. After successfully escaping, Sally returned safely to the hotel. Realizing her father was in danger, she resolved to find and assist him, enlisting her friends Josh, Benny, and Iqbal for help. Once Iqbal tracked Ray's location via his cell phone, Benny created a diversion for the police using firecrackers, allowing them to exit the hotel undetected. Meanwhile, Ray was being held captive by LaRue and his men, who were furious after discovering that the bag contained only a doll instead of money, a ruse Ray had employed. They subjected him to repeated assaults in an attempt to force him to reveal the location of the stolen money. Despite their efforts, Ray remained resolute and refused to divulge any information. Shortly thereafter, Sally and her friends reached the location where Ray was being held and immediately dispersed to confront LaRue and his men. At the same time, Ray managed to contact a friend who worked as a radio announcer. Through this broadcast, law enforcement was able to determine his location. Unbeknownst to LaRue, their conversation was being recorded, during which he openly admitted that Ray was innocent and that his true intention had been to exploit him all along. Law enforcement officials swiftly descended on the scene and apprehended LaRue and his henchmen without delay. Ray was declared innocent since he had been on the school bus with the students when the crime occurred. Shortly thereafter, Lynn came to check on Sally's well-being. This moment provided Ray with the opportunity to show his wife that he had transformed into a reliable and improved person. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.